My name is Roosevelt Bly, and I'm here with my grandma, Miss Teresa, and I just wanted to talk about her life. I spent some time with her. We went grocery shopping, to church, cooking. Cooking has always been amazing, and I love my grandma so much. I want to have a time to dedicate to her, and but yeah, grandma, if you just say hey, and let's talk about some of your earliest memories.
Oh, well, we go right back when I was a little girl.
Where you from? Where you from? Tell us about
I'm from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and my father is a Scottish and African American, and he was in Cuba. I born after he came from Cuba, and he gave me this beautiful name, Teresa. Everybody love it.
it.
Anyway, we were living in a fruitful land. And as a child, we didn't need pocket money. We would go to the store. We would go to the field and get the coffee bean, and we would wash it and put it dry. And like Christmas, and we sell it to the store and get our own pocket money.
Wow, so
So we,
you like a farmer, grandma?
yeah, it was 7.5 acre land, but it was a cultivated land. So we go up and I can say we never know anything like hungry. We have everything like that. But when I was about 17, no, I was 20, my father says 17 years since the mother and him break up. So I check it out, I was 3 years old. But my mother took me and my other brother when they separate, and my holy sister stay with my father. But I go like this when my mother want to spank me, I run to my father. And he will say, what happened? I said, nothing. And a few hours also my mother came and get me. So I live back and forth with my mother and father, and after a while.
So,
And
so this is 1940s when you growing up. 1940s, would you think?
I born in 38.
38. Okay.
Yeah, so when we go to school, we stay home at home until 6 year old before we could go to any school. So I have to tell my mother, I have to tell people I stay home and give my mother trouble. Because here you have a kindergartner, so we didn't have those things.
Okay.
So we stay home with the parents until school. We go to school 6 year old. So between those time, I stay with my mother, and I go to school and so on. And my first day at school, oh, I cry.
You cried?
Yes, and
You
Mommy
didn't have
Lee.
no brothers and sisters with you?
No, my brother was there, but I still miss my mother. So, and we had to walk to school. We didn't have vehicles and so on like now. So we walked to school. It was a big deal for us because we used to walk, do a lot of walking. And I cried the first day when Mommy leave. But anyway, I did love school. My brother didn't like school, but I love school. And we go like that until after a time my mother decided was to leave where she lived at home and go to a different place. We born and go. And she sent me back to stay with my father, to stay with my father and finish school. That time my brother, he up and down gone around his own self. So I went back to my father and we stayed there, and I was still going to school. But my father was like this, you don't hungry and so on, but when it come to schooling, he loved my holy sister because she stayed with him all the time. And I remember it was a holiday, Easter holiday, and I was 13-year-old. And when school get out and we supposed to return, there was like a week or so on, I didn't have a sneakers to wear to go to school, and I didn't want to go back to school with a barefooted walk.
Wow, barefooted.
So I quit.
You quit what?
I quit school. And say
At
I'm going,
13?
yes.
Wow.
I quit school and say I'm going to work.
Before we get too much further ahead, I was just curious if you can like paint the picture of like life when you was a kid. Like, was it you had your mom
Yeah.
and your father? What were their names?
Oh, my father is Jonathan Campbell,
Okay.
and my mother was Griselda. I don't know how they met because it was so different in between, but
It worked out.
yeah, but I never heard them, I never see them quarrel. Like you see parents nowadays, they will quarrel for children or something. We never see them have that.
Never argued
No.
in front of you. Wow.
Yeah, but we go, we go all right. We love father, we love mother.
And you say you had an older sister.
Yes, my older sister, she stayed, my father asked my mother, may she stay with her when them breaking up. Because he was the first child and he loved the first one. But he didn't, I don't know, my sister was like his highball.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, we live together, and when we have argument, my father will tell her, both of us are going to get a switch. We have this rose plant,
Ooh, get a switch.
and both of us are going to take a switch and whip each other. And anyone who can't stand will run. And my sister whipped me, I had us to run. Yeah, that's how we quiet when we have argument.
Gotcha.
But we, otherwise, we go up all right and sing.
So, childhood in Jamaica. I remember one time you told me a story about you having to go get your own water and walk into school, have it on your head.
Yes, my mother never drank water from nobody. When I leave school, I have to, excuse me, I had to she have this thing, this pitcher jar make out of clay, it keep water walk nice. So I had to get a pan and go to the head of the river where this water spring and get her drinking water and come back and put it in the jar.
And it was clean, just like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Just the spring water. But the big river where the spring run and come down and turn into the big river, she don't drink water from that place. Because the people wash their clothes and thing in there, but I have to go to the head where the spring water. Yes.
Okay.
And people will come passing when they're walking and so on, they come and stop and ask if you have some more water to drink. Everybody knows she don't, but other people just take the water and drink,
Yeah.
But she don't do that. So we have to do that. And when we live with my mother, my brother and I we have this big, like a barrel. We have to fill it up water every day. Because my mother, she was baking. She was she would bake hand bread, bun and so on. So we have to have the water and to wash the dishes and all that kind of thing. That's the most thing we do, wash dishes and fill the water and sweep the yard and so on. So we do that. And when school, we go to school and we come home, and after that, I would take my friends and help me to do when they want me to work, play with them. I said, you have to help me do my work. And they would come and help me, because if my work don't finish, Mommy will whip me.
Right.
So I have to get them help me catch my water, or wash the dishes, or whatever I have to do. I have to get them help me, and when we finish, then we can play the whole rest of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had a little responsibility.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I didn't have no problem growing up with them, although they were separate and thing. It wasn't no problem for us.
That's good.
Yeah.
Were you so you think you got some of your cooking skills from your mom?
Oh, yes.
Watching her?
Yes, yes.
Nice. What do you think was your favorite meal growing up?
Oh, my favorite was hockey and saltfish.
Swordfish?
And hockey.
Haki. Okay.
Yes, there's a tree that, them have the black head, but you cannot eat it when it's not open because it's poisonous.
Okay.
So it have to be open. They say the poison come out when it's open, and you can use it. That's what the Queen ordered when she came to Jamaica.
Wow.
That was her favorite dish.
Wow. So mom used to make that for you?
Oh yeah. At Sunday morning we have hockey and saltfish when the season is around, when the tree them bearing like that. Yeah.
Oh, so you were a middle child. I don't know why I thought you were the oldest.
I'm the baby.
You the baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have so much fun coming up. It's so different that when I was to tell my children that they do not have the fun that I have when I was coming up. Because we were having so much things. We have a lot of things. We didn't need have things like our children here, need a lot of things in parents. We just have enough that we could do anything. And I would go with my friends and we go down to the river and we bathe. We bathe in the river.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't have the bathroom and thing in the house and so on.
Yeah.
So we go every morning. That was cold water. We have to bathe in the river in the morning before school.
In the river.
Yes, before school. Yes, and you cannot go to school with your hair not comb. The teacher used a ruler and conk in the head. Yeah, but
He hit you with the ruler for not combing your hair.
yeah.
What?
And they said this teacher cannot whip children. Teacher have the long whip, long thing make out of rubber, where you take a whip and you have to hold in your hand, and they whip you in your hand, whip you in your hand, and sometimes they whip you over your back, and sometimes somebody chill their hand and they swell up, and the parents don't fuss about it. Sometimes we have to hide it and don't make them know what the teacher done, because our parents will whip us again.
Oh wow, double. That's crazy.
If I'm going on the street and someone saw me doing something I shouldn't do, I don't know, we don't do anything that bad, but every little thing we have to be respectful with people, with stranger. When we see stranger, we have to be respectful. And if they say anything, if they see we do anything like as a child and we don't know, we shouldn't do it, they take a switch and switch us.
Wow.
And we cannot go home and tell our parents.
Because you get whooping twice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we have to respect everybody. And my father, as he told me, one day I saw a lady and I guess now we realize what it was. Like she have like a tumor or something, like a goat, or they cut the breast off. And my father, when we leave, he said, when you see people like those, you don't laugh after them or anything, because you never know how your life is going to be when you come up. So yeah, so I learn when I'm coming up to respect people, and no matter what condition they're in, you respect them. Don't laugh after them. And like children nowadays see people and they laugh at them and do all kind of thing. We couldn't do that.
As a young adult, what type of work did you do in Jamaica?
When I leave, I went out. I take a friend with me, and we leave. We go to another district. It's a good distance. We take a vehicle. Probably about a 2-hour ride away from where we was. And they said we're looking job. But my father didn't find out that we're not around. They sent my holy sister come and look for me, and she come right in the neighborhood where she know we had. We were looking, we rent, I don't know how we rent the room, but me and my friend was in the room and so on. And so we were look job, but we didn't get no job at the time. We done there about 2 days or so on. And she come and bring us up back home.
She found you?
Yes. And we go back home. We have to obey the holiest one. We cannot argue with the holiest family, the holiest brother or sister. We don't learn. We don't go to disobey them. We have to obey them just like we obey parents.
Wow.
So after I went home, I decided I'm still not going to school, so I decided to go to the neighborhood where I can just walk, go and go home and go get a job. So I get a job as a liquor, but then gosh, I don't know what they call it now here, but they have a shop where they sell liquor things, liquor.
Like a corner store?
Corner store.
Okay, so that was like your first.
That's what I was doing, and I would leave and go home at night time.
Did your parents still think you were going to school at the time?
No, they know me not. My mother wasn't home, wasn't that neighborhood at that time. My mother moved and gone back where she born and go. So I was with my father, but he wasn't spending time to show, so we need this, I don't know how to express it with her.
Okay.
But anyway, we need things, and he wasn't buying it. And we have pride. We have to walk. I'm not going to walk barefoot at 13 go to school. So I want to have something. So I said, I'm going to work. So when I came back up from down where my sister took us, I went out in the neighbor, not too far, and I started to do that. I got to have my little money to buy any little thing I can. Then one fella saw me who know my mother, and he go and tell my mother that I'm working. My mother sent for me, said, must come and stay with her. It was a good little distance. So I quit the job, and I leave and go and stay with my mother.
This is where you like 13, 14 at the time?
I think I was about probably 15 or so on.
15, okay.
When I went up, no, I was like older than that. Probably
What
about
was
17.
it like when you moved back with your mom?
Yeah, the place where she was living, they call it Goat Ridge.
Goat Ridge.
And it's really for goat.
For goats.
It have so much stony place and so on. It wasn't a good neighborhood up there. People live there, but this wasn't like where we born and grow and we used to, a flat place, we walk and it was stony.
Stony, okay.
Yeah, I didn't like up there, but I stay up there with her.
Is this St. Thomas?
Eh?
Is this St. Thomas?
It's a part of St. Thomas,
Okay.
but it's branch out. They have so many different towns from, in St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like that place, but I stayed there for a while. And I still stayed there. My older sister was living up there too. Not that one. My daughter, my mother had a older daughter before she married to my father. Mm-hmm. So she was living up there. So she was a loving sister.
So I was curious, when did you decide that, like, hey, I think I want to move to America?
Oh, well, after I had my children, I got 2 children with them, and then I leave and go to Kingston. And I lived there for a little while, and my sister came here, the Holy Sister came here, and she said she getting ready to sponsor for me. So meanwhile I was in Kingston, I learned to sew, do dressmaking by watching my mother. I didn't go to school for that. They have classes.
Yeah.
No, I learned that from my mother. So when I was in town, I learned that. And I was doing sewing things and sell to make my own living.
Okay.
And after my sister leave, I decided, okay, get this lady sponsor for me. It's a long, so I have to stand in the sun in downtown Kingston, in the sun to the immigration office. There's a lot of waiting in the sun in line.
A lot of people.
A long line. You don't have the building you're going like, oh, they have it here, you're going and sit down and cool. No, you have to stand up in the line until when your time gets to go inside. It's a long waiting. But anyway, I finally get you. And when I came here, my sister picked me up at the airport. I was on a flat shoes. It was snowing. I came up in February.
Whoa.
Yeah, in New York. And when I went home and I stepped at the step to go in, my whole foot got down in the snow.
Oh, wow.
I just have on a flat shoes.
That had to be your first time seeing snow.
First
in New
time,
York.
yes.
Wow, you get to America and you're like, what is this?
So that's not all. When I go
I know
here,
you didn't have clothes for the winter.
but yeah, she carried a winter jacket for me to the airport.
Okay.
But after we got in, I was so cold, and she said, oh, you have to heat. That time they have this little heater around the house, so you can just plug it in. And she said, you hold your hand and rub your hand like this, but don't make it there too long because your finger will drop off. They don't know, it's so cold. Yeah, and the next morning she leave and go to work and leave me home. And I start to cry, and I look out the window. At the door lock, we never locked door in Jamaica at that time.
Y'all ain't locked doors?
No, we don't lock with you, just go and turn the door and so on. And she locked the door and she gone, and I'm inside looking out and I cry. I water.
Wow.
Anyway, she go to work, she come home, and I was there with her until I think I don't remember what day I came, but I think I stayed about 3 days or so. But the Monday she took me to her job. No, she took me to the lady that sponsored me.
Mm-hmm.
And she called her up and so on. And she says, to keep me until 6 months when she gets a home bill and finish up in Long Island. And my sister said, what are you going to do? 6 months. She's supposed to take you when you come here. Mm-hmm. So she took me to her job and she told her employer what's going on and thing, and that lady hired me.
Okay.
So I didn't have to go to her. But what she do, she sent back my paper, my immigration paper, to the immigration office, the sponsor.
Okay.
And when my sister wait and see a few weeks when she know I supposed to get it and it doesn't come to the mail, we go to the immigration office. And they say, well, let's send it out to such and such a person, such an address. That is the lady who sponsored me. And she returned it back. So they give it to me. And so
I'm curious, when you moved to America, what did you have, like some fears or like, wow, I gotta
no, I
find
was
a job?
excited.
You just excited.
Yeah, I was excited because my sister was living here. I said,
She said it's awesome.
when you come in from a different country for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
the way you hear about America, you believe that money was dropping off the tree.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you come here and start to get around, you realize it's not what this, because the guys that travel on the contract,
Mm-hmm.
when they do come here and work and come out, then just spend away the money like says it, and they pick it up. So we just believe money was just flowing around. But when you come, you realize you got to work for it. And I came up and I started two jobs. I worked 2 jobs.
Okay.
After I finish my regular job, I go to the job and I do the office work, the papers and so on and things. Like, oh, the sun is hot now in 4 o'clock and, it's still high, not dark.
Okay.
So I do that until, but when I leave Jamaica, I said I have 4 things I want to do. I want to get back my high school diploma.
Okay.
I want to drive when I see all those beautiful cars running those big highway. Oh, I go crazy.
Wow.
So I said I have to get my driver's license. The first thing I get was my driver's license.
You got your driver's license, okay.
And then I start go back to classes.
Okay.
To get
Back to school.
Yes, I go back to school. And that time my husband has to reach up here because when he's supposed to come, he was on the contract in Virginia.
Okay.
So
okay.
that delayed his paper. So he didn't come up until 3 years after.